This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Tov Yanetz, a dear friend of us, a great rabbi, a great speaker, Hazak Baruch. Today we're going to continue Halachot Kidushin Be'ezrat Hashem. We'll start from the pasuk in the Torah. The Torah says, Ki yikach ish isha. We're learning a few halachot from this pasuk. First of all, says the Gemara in the beginning of Masechet Kiddushin, on the first Mishnah, Ha'isha niknet bechesef bishtar uvebi'ah. The Gemara explains why the Mishnah is using the word niknet. Ha'isha niknet. Why the Mishnah is not using the word, the Lashon, Kiddushin. Ha'isha mitkadeshet. The same as the second chapter, the second perek in the Gemara, Masechet Kiddushin starts, Ha'ish mekadesh bo vishlucho. There we say Ha'ish mekadesh. Over here we say Ha'isha niknet. Why niknet? Gemara explains, since one of the Maaseh Kiddushin, it's Kiddushe Kesef, that's what we do today. We give a ring, it's Shaveh Kesef, Bechesef or Beshaveh Kesef, it's the same thing. Since the Mishnah is teaching us also that Kiddushin can be done with Kesef, and we learned Kesef from this pasuk. Ki yikach ish isha. How do we learn from this pasuk, Kiddushe Kesef? There is another pasuk. When Avraham Avinu bought the Sadeh, Ma'arat HaMachpelah, when he bought it from Ephron HaHitti, so the pasuk says over there, Natati kesef hasadeh kach mimeni. When Avraham bought the Sadeh, the pasuk says kach, lashon kiha. Gamar kiha misadeh Ephron. Over here the pasuk says ki kach. Over there the pasuk says kach, Natati kesef hasadeh kach mimeni. How the Sadeh was nikahat? How he took the Sadeh? By giving money. And the pasuk says hasadeh asher kana Avraham. So we see that kiha, it's lashon Kinyan. And therefore this Mishnah tells us ha'isha niknit bechesef bishtar uvebi'ah. We're learning the foundation of Kiddushin. What is it, Kiddushin? Kiddushin basically, it's an act of transaction. It's called Maaseh Kinyan. When you buy Sadeh with money also. Sadot בכסף יקנו. קרקעות, real estate, according to the Torah, you can buy real estate בכסף או בשטר או בחזקה. One of the ways you buy real estate, קרקע, a house, a field, it's with money. And when we say you buy with money, not necessarily that you pay the full amount. Even if you give פירוטה או שווה פירוטה, the מעשה קניין is done. Let's take an example. You're going to buy a new house. You're going around the house. You like the house. The neighborhood is good. Shchona Yehudit, Baruch Hashem. Jewish people lives around. You have beautiful Beth הכנסת, not far away from you. Nearby. You have schools for the kids. Baruch Hashem. You like the house. Everything is good. You want to buy the house, but you're not ready to have the contract right away, and at the same time you don't want to lose the house. According to the Torah, if you give the owner, is a Jewish man, you give him peruta, and then let's make the deal. We'll accomplish the deal with this money that I'm giving you now. So give him peruta, give him $1, even less than $1. Peruta, it's a few cents. You give him a nickel. And you tell him, okay, this is a nickel, this is a deposit, this is money that I'm giving you in order to purchase the house. This house, it's $1 million. You still owe him $1 million minus 5 cents. Yeah, it's true. But the house is yours. You bought the house. According to the Torah, that's called an act of transaction. By giving him this few cents, by giving him the peruta, it's called Maaseh Kinyan. The house is yours. The next day, the market flips. Doesn't matter which direction. If the prices increased, all of a sudden the government decide to give mortgages for free. You can get 100% mortgage for free. No? What happens to the market? Prices will go up. They'll go rocket till the sky up. No? The next day the house worth $2 million. So now the seller doesn't want to sell you. Why? You agree with him only on $1 million. Now he can get $2 million. So he wants to change his mind. Can he change his mind? It's too late. Why? The Kinyan was done. The house is yours. You bought it. Also the opposite. If the prices decrease for some reason, the banks decided not to give mortgages to nobody. You want to buy a house, you buy it with 100% cash. Who has $1 million cash? Not so many people. The house's prices will go down. The next day the house worth only $500,000. And you want to change your mind. Now the seller doesn't want to change the deal. He doesn't want to cancel the deal. He wants to keep the deal. Why? You owe him $1 million. He can't get more than $500,000 today. So he wants to change the mind. You want to change your mind? He doesn't want to change his mind. What's the halakha? You can't change it. You can't cancel the deal. Once it was done, complete deal, the house is sold, you bought a house, the Kinyan was good, everything was according to halakha, you can't change your mind. So kesef, it's an act of transaction. What the Mishnah tells us, Isha niknet bekesef, Mishnah is not referring to the value of the woman. It's priceless. Can you put a price on your wife? It's priceless. It's a precious neshama kedosha tachat kisei hakavod. There is a price for something like this. So what is it that Isha niknet bekesef? It is just an act of transaction. By doing this act, by giving the money, we're showing that we are completing this deal. So we're learning from this pasuk that Kidushin is truly a Kinyan. The lashon of the Torah is not Kidushin. The Torah never used the word Kidushin. The Torah used the word ki kah hishisha, and lashon kiha, Gemara explains us, it's lashon Kinyan. So basically, we're learning over here, ha'ish koneh, ha'ish lokeach, he buys the isha, and not the opposite. Not the isha is buying the ish. The Torah did not say ki tikah isha ish, or ki tilakah isha leish. Torah says ki yikah ish isha. Ha'ish koneh ve'en ha'isha kona. That's also one of the halachot that we learned from this pasuk. So why do we use the lashon Kidushin? Hare'at mekudeshet li. Where is this lashon comes from? Gemara explains that this lashon is lishna de Rabbanan. Chachamim came up with this text, hare'at mekudeshet li, and he uses the lashon mekudeshet instead of kenuya. You could have said to your wife, you can say to the kala, the hatan can tell the kala, hare'at kenuya li. It's good. She is married. He gave her the ring, he told her hare'at kenuya li, she's mekudeshet. You can tell her also, hare'at lekuhati, ki kahishisha. Hare'at ishti, it's also good. Hare'at ishti betaba'at zo, she's mekudeshet. Hare'at arusati betaba'at zo, mekudeshet. You don't have to use the word mekudeshet, but Chachamim preferred the word mekudeshet. Nowadays, everyone is using the word mekudeshet. Although you can say hare'at arusati, hare'at me'oreset li, me'oreset in lashon HaTorah, it's Kiddushin. Na'ara me'orasa, it's na'ara mekudeshet. So you can say hare'at me'oreset li, but we don't do that. What do we do? What do we say? Hare'at mekudeshet. Why? Chachamim prefer the lashon mekudeshet, since this lashon includes a few more ideas in Kiddushin. Since Kiddushin, it's not just a Kinyan. Says the Gemara, de asar la akule alma kehekdesh. This is something that refers only to hekdesh. If you take an object and you call this object the word hekdesh, this is kadosh to Bet HaMikdash. What happens to this object? It becomes kadosh, and it's now belong to the Hekdesh, to Beit HaMikdash, and no one is allowed to use it. It becomes asur, it becomes forbidden for the rest of the world. It's special for Beit HaMikdash. It's permitted only to Beit HaMikdash. Only Beit HaMikdash can use it. Only Beit HaMikdash can sell it. No one else. And if someone is going to take it and use it, that's called Ma'ila, Mu'al B'Kodashim. We cannot take something from Beit HaMikdash, something which is Ekdesh, and to use it for our own sake. It belongs to Beit HaMikdash. Similar to this, it's the idea of marriage. Once the Kala is mekudeshet to her husband, she's permitted only to him. And she's forbidden for the rest of the world. Asar la akule alma kehekdesh. So therefore, the Lashon Hekdesh is very appropriate over here. Also, Tosafot explains over there, Daf Bet Amud Bet Masechet Kiddushin, that the word Kadosh, what's the word Kadosh means? Kedoshim tiyu, ki kadosh ani Hashem Elohechem. What is it Kadosh? Kadosh means something which is separated from the rest of the world and specified to one specific idea or one specific Avodat Hashem. So that's called Kadosh. If it's Beit HaMikdash, so it's specified only for Beit HaMikdash. It's specific for Beit HaMikdash. It's special for Beit HaMikdash. It's permitted only for Beit HaMikdash, and it's forbidden for the rest of the world. That's the word Kadosh means. Also, when we call a person Kadosh, what does it mean he's Kadosh? When the Torah tells us Kedoshim to you, what the Torah is trying to tell us? Separate yourself from the world. Separate yourself from this material world. And specify yourself for Hashem. Make yourself specific for Hashem. Miyuhad to Hashem only. That's called Kadosh. So over here, the husband, the Hatan, tells the Kala, Hare'at mekudeshet li. What's mekudeshet li? Mekudeshet li means that she's special only for him. She's miyuhedet for him. She is specific for him only. Mezumenet lo. Hare'at mekudeshet li meaning miyuhedet li, mezumenet li, muteret li, ve'asura lechol ha'olam. That's what the word Kiddushin includes. Miyuhedet, mezumenet, ve'muteret. To the Hatan, Hare'at mekudeshet li, and at the same time, the word Kiddushin separates her from the rest of the world and forbids her for the rest of the world. So in one word, we include so much. Therefore, the Lashon Kiddushin, it's the preferable Lashon that we use doing the Maaseh Kiddushin. Asar la'akul alma ke'ekdesh. But only the Hatan can tell the Kala, Hare'at mekudeshet li. If the Kala will tell the Hatan, Hare'ata mekudash li, Hare'ata ba'ali, Hare'ata ishi, Hare'ata arusi, there's not going to be Kiddushin over there. Why? Since the Torah says, Ki yikach ish isha. The ish is taking the wife and not the opposite. And therefore, according to Halacha, only the Hatan gives the Kala the ring. She doesn't give him a ring. Nowadays, in the modern world, in the secular world, they're exchanging rings. They learned that from the Goyim. That's what the Goyim do. The Hatan gives the Kala a ring, and the Kala gives the Hatan a ring also. According to the Torah, it's wrong. The Hatan, he's the one. Ha'ish lokeach et ha'isha, and not the opposite. Once I was invited to such a wedding. What happened? The Kala's family came from our Kehila in Long Island. And they were very nice family, important, Hashuvim, Shomrei Torah u'mitzvot, religious people. But the Hatan came from a family which they were not religious. Not only they were not religious, they were going to a temple. A temple. You know what a temple is? And the rabbi over there was conservative. they made up their own way of making ceremonies. Conservatives and the reforms, they're not following the rules of the Torah, how to perform a wedding, how to do the ceremony of the Kiddushin, the Chupan Kiddushin. They're making up their own way of doing this. So this rabbi is not a Rav, he's a rabbi. This rabbi had his own idea. I see him coming to the wedding, and he's preparing the Hatan and the Kala. He's asking him, do you have your ring? And he's asking her, do you have your ring? And he's explaining them, soon I'm going to tell you, and you're going to exchange rings. Right away I understood he's giving them the wrong message. He's explaining them that he is going to give her the ring, and she's going to give him the ring. By exchanging the ring, they're going to be married. That's totally a wrong message. That's totally a wrong idea. It's against the Torah. They're not going to be married this way. The Hatan himself was very naive. He was מתחזק already. He was already shomer Shabbat, shomer Torah, mitzvot, מתקרב. He had a good opportunity to become a religious person. So that's why the Kala wanted to marry him. But the family was far away, and the rabbi was even far, further far. In the far east and the far west and the far, somewhere far. So nicely I asked the rabbi permission. I said, the family of the Kala, they're religious people, they're Orthodox people. According to the Halacha, in Shulchan Aruch, only the Hatan gives the Kala the ring. If they're exchanging rings, and they're thinking by exchanging the rings, that's the way the Chuppah is done, that's the way Kiddushin is done, they're missing the point. They're going in the wrong direction. According to Halachah, they're not married. So with your permission, if you let me first, we'll do the Kiddushin according to Halachah. And then you can do the ceremony after we'll finish the Kiddushin according to Halachah. You can do the ceremony whatever you want. I didn't want to make a mahloket right there on the stage of the Chuppah. So I came up with this idea. We'll do first according to Halachah, and then you do, if the Hatan wants to give her a ring, a necklace, יצפה אותה זהב, whatever he wants to give her afterwards, it's not a problem. But first, let's do it according to Halachah. So since nothing is principle for them, what's different for him to do it this way or the other way? They made up a ceremony. It could be a different ceremony. So he said, okay, Rabbi, no problem. We'll do it this way. Baruch Hashem, I had Siyata Dishmaya. I explained to Hatan, listen, only by you giving her the ring, she's mekudeshet to you. That's the way the Halakha requires for the Kiddushin to work. If you want the Kiddushin to work, you're going to give her the ring, you're going to tell her, Re'at mekudeshet li. Usually we're explaining the Hatan also to understand what does it say to her. Re'at mekudeshet li. What does it mean, Re'at mekudeshet li? So we're telling him, Re'at mekudeshet li, it means that you are buying her. Not buying so you can sell. It's not merchandise you buy and sell. But buying in a way that she's going to be specific for you. She's going to be permitted to you only. She's going to be special to you only. Le'inyan ishut, that's what it is. She's belong to him and forbidden for the rest of the world. So I explained that to the Hatan and Kala. They accepted it very nicely. He gave her the ring. He told her, Re'at mekudeshet li. We finished with the Sheva Berachot and the Chuppah. Baruch Hashem, beautiful. Achar kach, later on, the rabbi did his own ceremony by exchanging rings and giving his own wishes and reading his own, אני לא יודע מאיפה המציא את הברכות שלו, but whatever it is, we did already according to Halachah what we were supposed to do. I had a different story similar to this. Also, Hatan Ba'al Teshuvah in the beginning, in his very, very first few steps that he was mitkarev, he came over to me before the wedding and he told me as follows. He says he has a very close friend. He's a lawyer. The Hatan was a lawyer. He has a very, very, very close friend, a judge in New York. If I remember correctly, I think he's a judge also in the Supreme Court. Very important judge. Someone very hashuv. And he's invited for the wedding. And according to New York State, the judge can pronounce you as a married couple. Now, he feels uncomfortable. He wants a Jewish marriage. He wants the rabbi to perform the ceremony for him. He wants everything to be done according to halakha. But he doesn't want to insult the judge who's sitting next to him, and he's going to feel left out. He has the authority, according to New York State, to pronounce them as a married couple, and he's going to make him feel like left out. You're not important. The Rav is more important. Of course, for him it's important, but he didn't want the judge to feel this way. So he asked if we can allow the judge to pronounce them as married couple after we're going to do the Kiddushin according to halakha. They agreed. They said, not a problem. First, we have to do it according to halakha. We'll do the Kiddushin according to what Shulchan Aruch is telling us, with 2 kosher witnesses. You're going to give her the ring. You're going to tell her mekudeshet. After we're done, we'll finish with the Maaseh Kiddushin according to halakha. Then the judge can read, I don't care, שיקרא את כל מגילת החירות. He can read the whole constitution for you. Whatever you want him to do, it's fine. Why? We finished already the Kiddushin. So, he liked the idea. We set up the whole schedule. We did the Kiddushin, and after the Kiddushin, he called upon the judge to pronounce them as married also. But you know what happened? The judge was even smarter than him. The judge said, I was amazed and impressed to see how, first time in his life, that he sees a Jewish marriage and first hand. And he liked it very much. And he said, according to the Jewish religion, you are married already, and there is no need for me to pronounce you as married couple, but I would like to give you wishes. And he took a note from his pocket, and he read Megillat Berachot, wishes for the Hatan Kala to have a beautiful home, with joy, with peace, with love, with friendship. Beautiful. Berachot that he gave him. He understood himself, the judge, and once they're married, there is no reason to remarry them afterwards. Truly, according to New York State, it's important to know that the law of the state recognized the religious marriage as also civil marriage. Some people think they're going to marry only religiously, and they're not going to marry civil, and they're going to avoid different arguments in the future. At least for the first year or two, they're not so sure what's going to happen later. If Has Shalom something is going to happen, she's going to sue him, he's going to sue her. So they don't want to be married in court. They don't want to be registered as married couple. According to the law in New York, if one of the sides will decide to go to court and sue based upon the religious marriage, they'll take the claim. They'll recognize the religious marriage same as they'll recognize the civil marriage. If you show a ketubah or a letter from a rabbi that you are married, they'll take this letter, they'll take this ketubah, and they'll put a stamp on it, and they'll recognize it as a civil marriage also. They'll consider the couple as a married couple completely according to the law, just because they're married according to the religion. It's not in every state in America, but in New York, that's the law. We had a very interesting story a few years ago. There was a lady, old lady, who passed away. She had left nothing, no children, no family. The next relative she had was a cousin. Her family was Holocaust survivors. Her father came here to New York after the Holocaust. He was a very, very rich man, multi-millionaire, and he died and left for his daughter a lot of money. Buildings in Manhattan, real estates all over. Very rich person. And she was about 75 when she died. Jewish woman. She was known as a single. She never got married. Unfortunately, she never got married. All of a sudden, a month after she passed away, someone comes and claims for the assets, for the money, presenting a document that he is her husband. He's married to her. What's the document he's showing to the court? Ketubah. Here's a ketubah. 2 witnesses. The signature of the rabbi in the bottom of the ketubah also was there. And he claims that he's her husband and he deserved to be the yoresh. You know, according to Halacha also, according to Shulchan Aruch, Ba'al yoresh et ishto. It's a Mishnah Masechet Ketubot. Shulchan Aruch is asking also. Ve'ven ha'ezer siman on hey. The men, Rambam also Perikaf Malachot Ishut, Perikaf Bet Malachot Ishut, that the husband is the first one to be yoresh his wife. Even if she has family, even if she has children, even if she has children from previous marriage, she has fathers, she has brothers, she has siblings. The first one to be yoresh the wife, it's her husband. He's considered the closest person to her. Also, according to the law in America, according to the state law, the husband is the closest person to his wife. So now, claiming that he's her husband, he deserved to get the asset, he deserved to get the money. According to the estimate of the court, the possessions were equal to $70 million. It's a lot of money. The cousin, of course, was surprised. Well, other relatives there, far relatives, but friends and relatives that were shocked to see that all of a sudden someone is claiming that he's her husband. Who is this man? They never knew she's married. She was not. She lived by herself her entire life. Who is this husband? Who is this man? They hired a private investigators. And these investigators, they were Jewish people. They started to dig into this story. They found out that this husband, he was a super in one of the buildings that she owns in Manhattan. He was a super in the building. He knew her, and he decided to claim that he is her husband. Not only that, he has some history with her. What's the history? He stole checks from her. And she reported it. He sprayed checks out, and the police caught him, and they brought him in front of a judge, and they sent him into prison. He sat in prison, he sat in jail for a couple of years, because he was stealing checks from her. Now he's married to her. They digged a little more. They found out that he married her. What was the date of the wedding? The same day he was released from prison. Same day he got out of prison, the same day they got married. A little more, her lawyer extended the order of protection she had against him at that very day. So if she wants to marry him, first, why she sent him to prison? Second, why she extended the order of protection against him the day he was released from prison, and then she's going to marry him a few hours later? Where was the wedding? In Pennsylvania. Both of them lives in New York. She has an apartment in the city. He's a super in the building. They live here in New York, and they went to Pennsylvania to get married. They were very confused. They realized something is wrong over here, but they could not argue the ketubah. There is a ketubah, seems to be a kosher ketubah, 2 witnesses. This is the name of a rabbi there. What are they going to do? The court is going to recognize this ketubah as a married document, and they're going to consider them married. The court will decide to give him her entire money. But they felt it's completely, something is wrong here, something is very smelly here. But they could not prove more than just more and more questions. So they came to us. They came to us. We're the rabbinical court in Queens. We need your help. The court will give a decision based upon this ketubah. If this is a kosher ketubah, they're married, they're going to give you the money. But if you're going to find out it's not kosher, this ketubah, and this marriage is not kosher, according to the Jewish law, it's not kosher. So the court will accept your decision. The court will accept your rabbinical court's decision and eliminate it as married. It's not marriage. It's not marriage. If you recognize it as a marriage, they'll accept it. If you recognize it as a Kiddushin Pesulim, then the court will accept your decision. So now they're explaining us, it's in our hand to decide who's the Yoresh over here, basically. By deciding if he's married to her or not married to her, we're deciding what's going to be with this money. So I decided to take this case. Every case we take very, very serious, but this case we took super extra serious. We did our own investigations. We called the husband. He came into Bedin. He was a scary looking man. Didn't look Jewish at all. Long hair, metals all over. His coat, all kinds of rings and metals on it. Scary man. He walks into Bedin like this. Okay, sit down. And I'm starting to talk to him nicely, asking him questions here and there. Slowly, I'm investigating him also. I'm asking him, tell me, you got married to this woman, how was it exactly? What did you do during the ceremony? Explain me what happened during the ceremony. He couldn't explain exactly, but he said the rabbi took a cup of wine and he said blessings that everyone can tell about any marriage, Jewish marriage. And then I'm asking, what was the next step? What did you do the next step? He said, that was it, I got married. So I'm trying to remind him, did you give her a ring? He said, yes, of course I gave her a ring. Describe me, what kind of ring you gave her? He says, a ring with a diamond. We know the halacha is, doing marriage, you probably realize no one gives a ring with a diamond or with a stone on it. Why? We want to give something which is clear. How much is it? Not clear exactly the price, but Avanim Tovot has always questions about them. What's the price of these stones? If you work in a 47, if you work in 47, you know. If you work in diamond business, you know. A diamond can be $1 million, and it can be also a few $100. It depends how clear it is, depends how big it is. Yeah? If it's a clear diamond, VS, clear, white color, beautiful diamond, it can cost a lot of money. But if it comes with a PK, if it has damage inside, if there's a cloud inside, if it's just a crack inside, it's a whole different story. So for her, she gets a diamond ring, she doesn't know what it is. She could assume that's a very expensive diamond that is giving me. The next day she's going to go to the jeweler, she's going to ask, what is this diamond? He's going to say, it's a cheap diamond. It's a fake diamond. It's not even a diamond. She's going to say, I didn't know that. I regret the whole marriage. We don't want something like this to happen. That she's not definite. She's not completely sure of what she's getting. And that's the reason also why we're asking during the marriage, is this shaveh peruta? We're asking the witnesses. Is this ring shaveh peruta? We're showing him the ring. We're showing the witnesses the ring. We're asking shaveh peruta? And they say, yes, shaveh peruta. Why do we ask the witnesses if shaveh peruta or not? Some people think, because we want to make sure, we want to make everyone understand that it's shaveh at least peruta. That's not the idea. The idea, we want to make her to hear. We want to make the kala understand that we don't look at it as more than peruta. We don't want her to think it's something expensive. If she'll think it's something expensive, she might going to think the wrong idea, and then she's going to change her mind. She's going to say, I didn't know it's so cheap. So we're saying in advance, listen, this is peruta. Shaveh, only peruta. If it's small a little bit, we don't care about it. You're accepting it as one peruta. Now she understands she's accepting peruta, and peruta is good enough for Kiddushin. But he said he gave her a diamond ring. And then I asked him, tell me, יש 7 חקירות ודרישות, שואלים וחוקרים את העדים. באיזה שנה, באיזה חודש, באיזה שבוע, באיזה יום, באיזה שעה. So I'm asking him the question slowly. Tell me, what day was it? He said, Saturday. They got married on Shabbat. He didn't do homework so good. And then I'm asking him, tell me, what hour was it? He said, I don't remember. He got married a few months ago, and he doesn't remember what hour was it. So I asked him, okay, I understand. It was only a few months ago and you don't remember, but tell me if it was morning, it was evening, it was afternoon, it was nighttime. Where was it? He said it was evening, like 7 o'clock in the evening. Okay. I finished investigating the husband, sent him out, and then we called the rabbi. We had the rabbi's information. He's also one of the witnesses on the ketubah. We called him in. We didn't tell the husband what we're doing. We called the rabbi. And I started to talk to the rabbi and investigated him. He's a rabbi. He's not a rav. You're going to realize soon why he's not a rav. Completely not a rav. I'm asking him, tell me what happened there. They got married? He said, yes. What day was it? What day they got married? באיזה שנה, באיזה חודש, sorry, באיזה יום בשבוע? He says, Wednesday. He says they got married on Wednesday. And the husband said they got married on Saturday. And then slowly, what hour was it? באיזה שעה התחתנו? What was the hour? When they got married? He says, I don't remember exactly. I understand. Tell me, what was it? Morning, evening, what was it? He says, morning. They got married in the morning. We finished praying Shaharit over here in Queens. He used to live in Queens. Now he doesn't live in Queens. We prayed Shaharit over here in Queens. We ate breakfast. And then we drove to Pennsylvania. And I got married in Pennsylvania. When I came back, it was morning, not later than 12 noon time. The husband said it was 7 o'clock in the evening. Between 12 and 7, it's 7 hours. Okay, tell me, you're the first witness over here. Who's the second witness? I see the name, Moshe Cohen. Kama Moshe Cohen yesh ba'olam? Moshe Cohen, where is this Moshe Cohen? Can we speak to him? He said, no, he doesn't. He's not from here. Where is he from? He's from Israel. Okay, can you give us his phone number? He says, no, I don't know him. What do you mean? You took a witness, you don't know him? He said, no, I don't know him. He was in shul that day. He preached a harit with us. We had breakfast together. I asked him if he wants to join us for the wedding, for the ceremony. He said, yes, he has nothing to do. So he came along, he slept along with us, and I took him as a witness. הרוצה לשקר, ירחיק עדיו. That's exactly what he did. It's a witness. Moshe Cohen from Israel. He doesn't know him. He doesn't know what. He doesn't know his information. He doesn't have anything. And then I asked him, tell me, what kind of ring did he give her? He said, what do you mean? So describe the ring. It was white. It was gold. It was what was it? Silver, copper. What was it? He said, regular silver ring. Was diamond there? No diamond there. As makara. What kind of wedding was it? With a diamond, without a diamond? Was it in the morning? Was it in the evening? I realized someone is lying over here. Someone is mishaker over here. So I confront with him. I said, listen carefully. You're sitting here for an hour, almost everything you told us contradicting what the husband told us. And I started to explain to him how many contradictions we have over here. And I threatened him a little bit. I said, if you're going to cooperate now, tell us the truth, fine. If you're not going to cooperate, we're going to take this case and we're going to give it to the police the way it is. With all the contradictions, with all the testimonies, all the investigations that we have, and we have more. He got very scared and he said, Rabbi, Hatati, Aviti, Pashati, et Hatayani Mazkir Ayom, was no woman, was no marriage, was no nothing. Can you admit it? Can you sign it? He admitted it. He said it. He recorded himself. And then we called the investigators. They came with their lawyers. It was a big meeting in Bedin. We explained to him what we have on this marriage. According to Halacha, it's not Kidushin. And more than that, not only that it wasn't Kidushin, I asked the rabbi, tell me how many people were there in the wedding? He said 6 people. What's the 6? How many? Who was the 6 people? There's the Hatan and the Kalla, him, the rabbi, and Moshe Cohen, the other witness, and the photographer, and another friend, a husband's friend. 6 people. Hatan min aminyan. So, you know, Huppah need Asara. Birkat Hatanim, you need Asara for Birkat Hatanim. So I asked him, how did you do Birkat Hatanim over there? You didn't have Asara. Even Kiddushin, Lechatchila, we need Asara for Kiddushin. But the Avad, Kiddushin, enough 2 witnesses for Kiddushin. So I didn't ask him for Kiddushin as much as I asked him about the Huppah. How did you do Huppah? How did you do Birkat Hatanim? So he said, Vod Harav, lo asinu Huppah. It was no Huppah. The Huppah. The halacha is, if a woman got married and she didn't do Huppah yet, even if she did Kiddushin, the husband is not Yoresh's wife. Yerusha is only after she's already Nisu'ah to him. Has to be Nisu'in. Nechnesa lirshuto. Either Huppah or Nechnesa lirshuto. Nechnesa lirshuto means that she came to his place. If she came to his place, she's Nisu'ah after Kiddushin, then Ba'al Yoresh et Ishto. But if it was not Nisu'in, it doesn't help that it was Kiddushin. And I asked the husband, tell me, after you finished the ceremony in Pennsylvania, how did you came back to New York? You drove together? You had a limousine taking you? How did you came back to New York? He said, no. He came with his own car, and she came with her own car, and they came back separated. So I asked him, after you arrived in New York, where did you go? To your house or to her house? He said, no. He went to his house, and she went to her house. אז לא נכנסה לרשותו. לא נכנסה לרשותו. Was no chuppah, no שבע ברכות, nothing. Even according to their version, he's not Yoresh. So of course we wrote a psak that according to our investigation, the Kiddushin was no Kiddushin, and was no Huppah. Even according to their version of the story, was no Huppah. And according to the Jewish law, he's not Yoresh. He's not married to her. And that's beside the question that he couldn't prove his Judaism. He claimed he's Jewish. We asked him if there's anyone in the world know that you're Jewish. He said, no one knows that. It's a secret. No one knows he's Jewish. Only him. His mother told him that when he was 8 years old. He's Jewish. He came from a Muslim country in Eastern Europe, one of the Caucasus countries over there, and claiming that he's Jewish, claiming that he's a husband, and he has a ketubah. Obviously, it was a knunya between him and this rabbi. He, as I told you, he ran away from Queens afterwards. He couldn't stay in Queens afterwards. Baruch Hashem, the Gemara says, כל אדם דין לעמיתו, נעשה שותף לקדוש ברוך הוא במעשה בראשית. That was a great day for us. If we realize how the din emet comes, יוצא לאור, and השתבח שמו לעד. There is a real or in the olam. So the Kiddushin were cancelled. The lawyers were so happy. They won the case in court. He lost his claim. Baruch Hashem, everything went according to the emet. But we're learning over here what's related to halacha, the halacha part of it. First of all, Kiddushin doesn't have to be Kiddushin. It's an act of transaction that the husband is buying the wife, and they're supposed to understand what he tells her. He's supposed to understand the way of Kiddushin works. And if he understands that, she understands that, and it's done the way the Torah says, Ki yikahish isha, then this Kiddushin has it's considered valid Kiddushin, and she is mekudeshet. The beauty of this story is that the state of New York recognized the religious Kiddushin. It doesn't happen everywhere in America, but in New York it does happen, and that helps a lot not only in regards of the Kiddushin, also in regards of the divorce. The state of New York recognized the Jewish divorce as well. That's beautiful. בעזרת השם, next week we'll continue more in הלכות קידושין, בלי נדר, בלי התחייבות. נזכה בעזרת השם, שתהיה קידושה בעם ישראל, נזכה לגאולה השלמה במהרה בימינו, אמן ואמן.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.